What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB. Once again, big shout out to my doggy Bash Lawrence King for coming through and boosting your man, the YB's coin it with 100p's, 100 large. Bash! Alright, let's get to it then. Whoa! This cat here, man, this cotton picking Nick here, man. Whoa, he washed up bad. He washed up bad, man. I don't even want to say he's washed up. I don't think he was never no good, is the truth. And it makes you... We're kind of skipping over the fight here, but it begs the question. How good is Tyson Fury, if I'm honest? Right. That's the God's honest truth here. It begs the question. This guy is useless. I've been saying for a while he can't punch. I've been saying since time, but I don't think he can really punch like that. I think it's a kind of like... You know how when Holyfield got in front of Tyson? If you get in front of Tyson and you ain't scared of him, you can't punch. Tyson can't punch all of a sudden, right? Holyfield stood there right with him, and Mike lost his head twice. Got punched up the first time and lost his head the second time. So a lot of these knockouts and whatnot, they're based on. Look at Bermane Stiverne. When Bermane Stiverne came to fight with Wilder, he couldn't punch the first time. Then when he came to jump on the floor, he jumped on the floor in the rematch, right? A lot of power is psychological. If you go in there choking half to death. And I'd argue Fury was a bit... the second fight shows the difference in mentality. I'd argue the first fight, Fury-Wilder, Fury was a bit like, oh, I don't really want to get hit by him. He's a massive puncher. And he got put down twice. The second time, he walked right into Wilder. Wilder's useless. The third time, Fury went life and death with him. Yeah? So for me, the jury's still out whether he can punch. Who's he punched? Okay, Ortiz. Was that rigged? We know that Wilder wanted to help his daughter because she was disabled or whatever. Honourable. That don't mean he can punch though in my book. There's some question marks around that whole scenario. Is Luis Ortiz 65? Was he training with Mike Tyson in the Catskills back in the 80s above the police station? Again, some people say that's the case. If he's 65, them knockouts against Ortiz, old dinosaur Ortiz, they don't stand the test of time as well. Anyway, let's now move on to today's situation. He was fighting Herndon. And it is quite funny that I did say before the fight, yeah, this should go early. And I might put some money on Wilder early. Oops. It went late. It went like round 7 or 6 or 7. Round 7. It was in round 7. So about 6.5 rounds in. And Wilder looked shocking. I saw him throw a power shot to the body once. It was a nice shot as well. We talked about this in our last video on Wilder. On the pads he was doing jab, left hook. He more or less did that combination, I believe. Jab, left hook, and he dug him right under his elbow. Perfect. Herndon was like this most of the night. Herndon had some good head movement, but for most of the night, or particular portions, Herndon's like this. Wilder, no body shots. He probably threw about 3 body shots the whole fight. How can you be a professional boxer and not throw no body shots? I don't understand that. Wilder's got no IQ. He was headhunting all night, which made it easy for Herndon. Herndon knew he knew it was always coming to his head. So he just drop his hands and slip. Fair play, the skills. It sounds easier than I'm making it out, but Herndon was slipping and rolling and dipping at the waist and grabbing Wilder by the waist more or less all night. And even then, the actual final sequence was moody. This fight was going to points, to tell the truth. This was a points win for Wilder, if I'm honest. I'm going to show you the frame by frame in a second. In fact, we'll do that right now. This is the frame by frame of the stoppage. And bear in mind, this is how the fight had been going the whole way through. It had been really scrappy. And I think whoever's running this show thought, oh no, Wilder's about to go life and death. Wilder's about to get a points victory over this guy. So the referee just started jumping in. There was no reason to jump in at all, if I'm honest. The stoppage was moody. That's what it was. Where is it? Come on, man. Are you joking? Here we go. This must be where the stoppage is. The footage is, again, moody. What's it loading for, man? Here's the stoppage. So you got this dude here with his hands on his head, stuck on his head. Herndon's got his hands stuck on his head. Wilder jumps in. What's he doing here? A moody jab. Is he putting the right hand in? Come on, man. Oh. What is going on with the internet these days? Proper annoying. Maybe it's all these tabs. To be fair to the internet. Let's let the internet off it. Maybe all the moody tabs. So he's jumping in with the right. He's done a 1-2 there. That Bosch turned in a little bit. Herndon still on his feet though. Again, begs the question. This power. Oh, this power. He's so powerful, man. No one can punch like Wilder can punch. This is proper annoying me now. You can't really appreciate it, to be honest. Maybe I should do the Twitter one. Look at this wide shot here. Look at this here, look. You know, look, Herndon's already got his hand right there. Now, you still feel the shot, even if you've got your hand up. But it's very rare someone gets cleanly knocked out when they've got their hands on their head. I can't think of an example of it. Wilder swings it from last week. Hits him around the back of the head. Herndon's still on his feet, though. I think Wilder was expecting some sort of reaction. Herndon's covered. Look at the body here, look. The body, this is what Herndon was doing all night. Like I told you, man. Yeah? The body was like this all night. How can you be in the game 20 years and not know how to touch the body? If someone's standing there like that, yeah, head down, hands on their head, and they've got all this liver here, how are you not exploiting that? Now, we know Wilder can't box, but come on, man. Like, I don't know how you can be in the gym for more than a year and not see someone's body wide open. Never mind whatever you say about Wilder. He's certainly had experience. Headhunting, he's got like a primitive boxing IQ. Very, very, primitive boxing IQ. Look, headhunting again. I guess he's got his hands down now. Moody left hook. He swings it right in. Look at it. He's crossed right over. Bowls the right hand in. That boshes Herndon's head back. But again, he's still on his feet. Where's this power they allege? And here's the Moody stoppage. This is the sequence that got it stopped. Herndon's on his feet, stumbling back, but he's in control. And the referee comes in and waves it off. The man's on his feet. Wilder wasn't all over him. Wilder hit him with a few shots. He's defending himself. Wilder didn't pounce on him and was flurrying. And this was how the fight was going. It was messy. Wilder would land a shot and he'd grab and it was messy and it was like, whoa, rubbish. Yeah? So for me now, we all expected Wilder to plaster this guy, to give him the Picasso over the canvas. That's what we expected him to do. He didn't. This fight was a points win. There's no doubt Wilder would have won on points, but that's where it was going. Wilder can't punch. He looked goosed in there, knackered, puffing. Yeah? Didn't see nothing new, and he just looked like... Before, there was the illusion he had some power. Now he's got no power. And even then, he was very seldom there. I wouldn't mind seeing the punch stats. He was very rarely throwing his hands. You'd think he'd be in there, yeah. There's like... No respect. But he had his shot. He's scared from when Tyson Fury filled him in. He's scared from when Zhang filled him in. He's not the same... He's not the same guy. He was literally in there. Herndon standing there waiting. He's been brought in as the B-side. He wants to get knocked out early. He was waiting to get knocked out and Wilder's having a look and like proper taking his time. You'd think he was in there with George Foreman. That's how Wilder was boxing for me. Like he was in there with IMR George Foreman. Yeah? If you watch this fight, it's a Moody link here on YouTube. That's what you'll see. Wilder's having a look and he's always trying to find a little shot here and there. He's boxing with him basically. He should be all over him. He should have walked straight into him and let it off. He's finished. And I apologise to Dave Allen as well, I'm going to be honest. There was a few seconds of this fight, of this 7-round fight, where I saw Herndon and I thought, if Herndon actually wasn't paid to jump on the floor, he didn't jump on the floor. That's how bad it's got for Wilder. Wilder can't even rig these fights no more. He ain't got the pulling power. You need to be doing like $10 million at least to have the pulling power to get someone to jump on the floor. Wilder don't have that anymore. That's why the guy finished on his feet. Malik Scott got paid to jump on the floor. Beaumain Stavern too got paid to jump on the floor. They ain't got the money no more to pay these guys to jump on the floor. That's why Wilder can't punch now. Is that a coincidence? You tell me. I don't know. Something's not adding up. Yeah? Some new... What's his name? Some new prospect punched his Herndon up early as well. Let's have a look. What his name? Rios Jr. Riez? I don't know. Mexican Donny. Something like that. Where is it? It was... Richard Torres Jr. punched him up in 2 rounds. TKO. Yeah? That's what they do with this dude. And Wilder made a meal of it. And like I said, there was a few points, not loads, I'm not going to lie, but there was a few points, probably 10, 20 seconds out of a 7-round fight, where Herndon had his hands up, he'd slip a shot, and he just wasn't confident enough. If Herndon had turned up here, let's say this guy had kids. If someone had told Herndon, hey, I got your kids, and they're going to get clipped if you don't have a go, if he'd come in with that mentality of having a go, I'm not saying Herndon couldn't have won this fight, honestly. That's how bad it was. Herndon for me could have won this fight. And I put this to you now. Put Dave Allen in there with Wilder. I got Dave Allen winning. From what I've just seen, no joke. I got Dave Allen beating Wilder. So I apologise today. Before I thought Wilder might get his right hand in, but he can't. He couldn't get Herndon with his right hand. And Dave would be throwing more than Herndon didn't. I think Herndon threw probably about 10 punches. 10 punches with actual intent. Maybe not even that. Maybe 3 or 4 actually. 3 or 4 shots he threw the whole night. And you can argue, well, Herndon wasn't letting his hands go. That's what made it hard for Wilder. But Main Stefan wasn't letting his hands go. When someone's just walking around the ring, yeah, you just got to let the hammer off. If it was possible just to politic everyone by not letting your hands go, then no one would ever lose. Or no one would ever get knocked out. But Wilder, he couldn't pull the trigger enough against a dude who was throwing nothing back. Imagine if you're throwing something back now. He's finished, honestly. He's finished. I've got AJ beating Wilder at this point. I really have. I got AJ. I can't think of who wouldn't beat Wilder now. Where would we have to go down to? I think Fisher versus Wilder. That's the level. I'd probably, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd back Wilder to beat Fisher. That's the level he's at for me now. Yeah. Wilder would, I don't know. That would be a good fight. Yeah. Wilder versus Fisher at the Copper Bosh. That's the level we're talking about with Wilder. We can't go any higher than that. I'm sorry, we can't. I just can't do it. I don't see what he's going to do there. He made a meal. This was a points win, man. You saw the stoppage. Don't play with me. Call me a liar. Was that a real stoppage? The man's on his feet and he's not even getting swarmed. Why are you stopping the fight? He wasn't winning. He wasn't winning many rounds. But Wilder wasn't doing nothing. I'd be intrigued to see what Herndon looked like after. There would have probably been no marks on his face. Really bad. Anyway, I want to also point this out. There's a clip here. I'm just showing you Wilder looked. There's an exchange and Wilder's jumping in with both of his feet. I've never seen anything like it, honestly. It's wild. Let's have a look. Sent it here. See what I mean? Herndon's got his hands up. There's the jab from Wilder. Wilder puts the jab in. Left hook. Body's wide open. Left hook. Body's wide open. What does he do instead? Wilder had no pace on his feet. He's kind of like praying mantis. People say it as a joke, but that's the vibes he gives me. He's like, put him on. Put him on. There's no pace. There's no like, pop, pop. He's kind of like this. Like a big, slow, stiff praying mantis. There was no pace. There was no double jab and I'm whipping it in. He was looking, he was thinking too much. And Herndon weren't throwing nothing to make him think. So he's shot. I've never seen something like this before, honestly. This is phenomenal level of shot. I don't know what he's on. Oh, yeah, I'm coming back to prove everything. You're finished, bro, honestly. And we laugh about AJ, but this is a different level. AJ looked bad against Dubois. Yeah? AJ looked bad against Dubois, to be fair to him. This guy, Wilder, looks bad against, I don't know what this guy's doing here, Herndon. Here we go. Here's where Wilder starts jumping in with both his legs. He's got no finesse at all. There's no like, I'm going to think about what I'm doing. He just jumps in, arms wide open. There's no short hooks. He's always slapping with his elbows straight out. And he just jumps in. Watch. Shame I can't play it really. Here we go. Here's this big slap he throws in there. Look, arms wide. Look at that. Hooking with his arms straight like that. He's already got long levers. If you've got long levers, you shouldn't need to widen them even more. In theory, it should be shorter people who need to stretch to open their arm. If you've got long levers anyway, you should be really keeping it even shorter. Because you've already got extra length. Why are you slapping like that for? Wild. Here comes the slap. You hit him with it as well. There's a slap there. Here comes, look, it's massively over leveraged, crossing his arms and legs over. Comes to right hand now. I think this is where he jumps in there. Here's a jump. I'll make it big so you can focus on his legs. Pause. That's what I'll do. You need to see this. That's what you need to do. Look at this dude's legs. Just focus on this portion here. Yeah? Watch him jump in. It literally takes flight. Look. He's taking flight now. Why is he flying in? Why is he flying in? Both his feet are off the ground here at this point. Both his feet are off the... People, you understand? He's frog jumping in. Neither of these feet are on the ground. Why are you frog jumping, bro? I don't know what he's doing at all. Messy. Really messy. And he's always been messy, but... Oh, I remember in the Ortiz fights, he used to be quite poised, though. I guess the argument is, well, Bumden... Yeah, Tyrrell Herndon, this opponent, he wasn't there to win. He was there to kind of half survive, which can cause problems. Wilder like with Ortiz would have been kind of jumping in and putting a few combinations together, so that gave Wilder the opportunity to sit there and just let it off. I don't think Wilder can really fight coming forward. He's a mid-range fighter. He needs you to meet him in the centre of the ring and throw something. This shows he can't fight going forward at all, and he can't fight going backwards. We know that from the Fury fight. So he can only fight one way. You've got to meet him in the middle of the ring. Although Parker fights a bit. I'd argue Parker's more of a middle range type fighter, and Wilder had no chance. He's finished, honestly. I expected him, and thank God, there wasn't gambling options for early rounds on this, because I'd have put money on 1-3, and would have been bumped. Yeah, unbelievable. And even there's nowhere he goes from here, honestly. Apart from AJ, this could be before I never would have said, let's do AJ versus Wilder to get AJ's comeback fight. But this might as well be AJ's comeback fight. That makes sense. There's nothing scary about him now, and he must know that. Yeah, I think he's after Moses Atalma's done Dillian White in that kind of level. That's where Wilder's at. This reminds me, actually. This is very similar, but probably worse, actually. Remember White versus Tete, Purple Aki's cousin? Yeah, White versus Purple Aki's cousin was similar to this. It's of that realm. Shocking, honestly. This is how bad it was. But Dillian White, I think Wilder was winning most of the rounds as well. So that's what Tete was throwing his hands, though. That's the worst thing about this. Is there an argument that, well, if Herndon had through his hands, then that would have let Wilder in for something? You have to make your own holes, though. Right? No one could get in there with Triple G, who's a 160 pounder. How many people survived with Triple G just standing there like this and backpedaling? You couldn't do it. So when you're the mega A side, like Wilder was in this situation, if the guy's being super defensive, you have to just walk into him. What are you you can't even call it boxing. He wasn't even lighting the guy up with his jab. He looked slow as well. That's another thing I've never really been able to say about Wilder. He looked really slow and knackered after 3 rounds. There was nothing on his shots, honestly. Nothing on his shots. And I don't know, listen. He's finished, man, honestly. It's not often we say that, but this guy's finished. He needs to beg AJ for a put on. Beg AJ to hang out the back of him for some cash. That's what it would be as well. What chance is Wilder going to have? Well, he might have a pretty good chance if AJ comes in on the Ben Davison special. Comes walking in. You can always walk in. Whatever you say about Wilder, you can always walk into a right hand, though. Yeah? But if Herndon can defend it. There was a few knockdowns, but there was nothing clean. Herndon did have good head movement, though, that AJ might not necessarily have, but Wilder will be shitting himself, though. This is the difference. This should have been Wilder at his best, i.e. no worries about what's coming back. It's all me. And he made a meal of it. In there with AJ, defense leaky or not, Wilder's going to be double thinking about, well, what's he going to do, and he might catch me. Does that make sense? So I've got AJ all day and night based on this. It was painful to watch. I watched it in 1.25 speed. Horrible to watch. Yeah, he can't box. I don't know what he can do. The right hand party trick. Okay, well, where was it? We didn't see it. He never puts the right hand into the body either, which I never understood. Years ago I said that. Why isn't he putting the right hand into the body? Start there. He's headhunting. I can't deal with him. I don't know who's training these guys. Or maybe he's not smart enough. Maybe he's a bit thick, and he just don't get that you don't have to always hit the head. Does that make sense? Because it makes no sense to me. Yeah? If Herndon's head's tricky and he's moving at the waist, dig his body. His body ain't going to move that much. Hunting, missing. It's like, wow, that's crazy. But again, it begs the question, how did Fury get caught by this guy? Is Wilder the argument, he's fell off and he was better before? This bad, though? Has he fell off this bad? He looked like he was 50 years old in there. This reminded me of that. Who was fighting the other weekend? There was 2 old. No, have you seen James Toney's recent fights? He fought like a year ago. That's how it looks like. 50-year-old man in there. Wilder's only 39. Shocking. Proper shocking. But yeah, AJ, this should be the comeback fight. It's still worth, for old time's sake, it's kind of half worth watching. But I ain't gonna lie, this has turned me off a bit. Last night I'd have told you, yeah, let's get AJ and Wilder, but this has really turned me off. This isn't good. I was sitting there telling you, man, oh, this is Wilder's thing. He can knock out bums all day and night. Oops, he can't. He can't knock out bums now. He's finished. I never thought I'd see the day where Wilder couldn't knock a bum out. And it's making me more and more thinking now that they was all rigged, honestly. That's what it's got me thinking now. If this guy couldn't jump on the floor, if you couldn't get this guy spark out, how did you get everyone else spark out? Really? You hit them? I don't know about that. Because you hit him a few... I've showed you a few clips. You've hit him pretty clean a few times and he was just standing there. His legs didn't even go. Right? So how are you knocked out? Fury's chinless is what that also proves. Fury's chinless and no good. Yeah? Fury's chinless and no good. That's what it shows here. All that hype about Wilder's a massive puncher. I don't know about that, mate. Because they say that, oh, the power's the last thing to go. Oops. Well, the power's the last thing to go. Herndon did alright with it. Oops. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell. One, I think I've already mentioned, but let me say it one more time. It was rigged as well. That's the worst thing about this. The referee had to rig it. Can you believe that? Yeah? Robbery. Rigging. Stopped on his feet with Wilder 6 feet out. How did you get stopped on your feet when the guy ain't even pressing him? Pissed me off. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this. Some people stop it. Yeah, buzz.